This video is brought to you in collaboration with wowhead.com. Hello everyone! The main campaign on Karesh is quite a monster in size. A lot of really cool details happen, which we are going to cover, but I also know that some of you just want to know enough to understand what's going on. You've got a raid to catch, a Race the World First to watch, so in real short, before we dive deep. Dimensius the All-Devouring is returning, and we go to Karesh to try and stop this from happening. We'll need to do like the ethereals and brokers did before us to not instantly die to Dimensius' massive aura. We need to transform into energy with the use of Rishi ribbons, powerful artifacts of the Kareshi people, into a ritual guided by none other than Xal'atath. Our allegiance with her is not built upon trusts, quite the opposite. Simple case is, if we don't work together on this one, we're all getting devoured. And so, we get the job done. We gather the ribbons, earn our way into the Mana Forge Omega, where our goal is going to be to try and stop Dimensius from returning. That's the really short version of Ghost of Karesh, which honestly does not do it justice. There is so much delicious Karesh history revealed. There's the Devouring War, the battle against Dimensius, and the threat that, if he comes back, Azeroth might become his next snack. The fate of the Karesh might be shared by our people, might be shared by Azeroth. So, we ended the Undermine story with the Dark Heart taken by Face Thief Azir, who we see gazing at the remnants of Karesh, homeworld of the ethereals and the brokers, while they were still Kareshi. Karesh looks this way, because they ended up in a war with Dimensius the All-Devouring. Aptly named the Devouring War, it left them as beings of pure energy, while their worlds, well, we can see what is left. A fate that the Locus-Walker fears will also fall upon Azeroth, as, like Karesh did in the past before Dimensius showed up, Azeroth now is calling out the Radiant Song, which the Kareshi were all too familiar with. Yet Locus-Walker also reveals to Alleria that he was the one diving deep into the research of the Void, that he heard the voices, not just the voice of Karesh, not just the whispers of the Void, but also the voice of a mysterious harbinger, Xal'atath, warning him about the coming of Dimensius, which is odd, as she worked for Dimensius, she was his harbinger.
Could Xal'atath be seeking that same fate for Azeroth?
I fear that is precisely what she intends. You must find a way to stop her.
We have done everything in our power to try and stop this. Try and stop Xal'atath, with some mixed results. And as we finished liberating the Undermine from Gallywix, as well as deal with the political troubles within the Arathi Highlands, the Locus-Walker now shows up in need of our aid.
After so long, Master, it is time. The Harbinger's failure has opened the way. The vast power she placed within this dark heart will give you new life. So come, Lord Dimensius. Come feast upon this universe. Let your darkness reign forevermore.
We've all heard it, old friend. The voice of our greatest fear.
Dimensius is rising, Venari. And should he assume his full power,
He will devour all that exists.
just as he did to our beloved homeworld, Karesh.
You want us to abandon our hunt for Xal'atath?
Dimensius the All-Devouring is being revived by the Shadow Guard. I need your help.
Interesting that the Locus-Walker first told us that he believed Dimensius was coming for the soul of our world, And now he fears a revival of Dimensius. We battled with Dimensius all the way back during the Burning Crusade, earned victory to the cheers of millions of ethereals for finally claiming their revenge. Did he fear that there would be more pieces of Dimensius out there, or did he always know that a revival was necessary?
Time grows short. Dimensius the All-Devouring stirs.
How? Dimensius was slain in the Netherstorm, along with Nexus King Xal'atath.
Like the Koreshi people, the All-Devouring was merely shattered and dispersed. On every world the Shadow Guard assaulted, they searched for fragments of their master. I have a new ally who revealed the Shadow Guard's methods and treacheries to me. Come, we are on the hunt.
I assume these creatures are the assistants you promised, Locus-Walker. If there are... this managerial job in Tazavesh has been one crisis after another. I delegate solving these problems to you.
Xal'atath is out there, and we do chores?
We must pay the bureaucratic tax if we want free run of the city.
Will more flesh creatures from off-world be arriving to aid the Trust? Never mind. I'll find the appropriate forms. Best to plan for chaos. Or worse, the Maw-Walker to return.
Who are the Trust?
They are a coalition of cartels. Ba, Zai, Zo, and Om, as well as ethereals from the consortium. Tazavesh was acquired by the Trust's founder to act as a supply port and recreation center for the revitalized Project Ecodome.
Our ecodomes are threatened by both the Shadow Guard and the barbarian wastelanders. It is more than Cartel Zo's security can manage. The founder believes that the sinister rival sorcerer Locus-Walker can solve this crisis. I am skeptical. The only progress I have noticed is the increase of paperwork on my desk.
My student, Alleria Windrunner, and Azeroth's champion have my full support. I have the founders. I suggest you give them yours.
Very well. I have approved your entry. You have complete access to the city. No need to sneak in or cause trouble.
Quite the difference compared to the first time we visited Tazavesh, the Veiled Market, as it was the mega dungeon during the Shadowlands. No surprise that Omen is so worried about the Maw-Walker showing up again, as we were quite the menace. But this time around, we're a lot more helpful, cleaning up some of the problems that have snuck into the city.
Omen called you a Ravel sorcerer. What did they mean?
During the first war against Dimensius, we Koreshi warred against each other as much as we fought against the Void. I was part of the Ravel, a group of technomancers, cartel leaders, and great thinkers. We focused on unorthodox solutions to the Dimensius problem.
Who warred against you?
King Salhadar rallied the oracles of Koresh to his side. They thought to save the world. They almost doomed it. We did not know at the time that the king had given an oath to the All-Devouring.
So his hunt in Outland for Dimensius was just a ruse?
A ploy. He radicalized those in the Ethereals seeking out the fragments of Dimensius for later conscription. The death of Xal'atath did not end the ascendancy of the Shadow Guard, as many in the Consortium had hoped.
How can we win this fight?
We must find a way to bring a fighting force to the Shadow Guard's Mana Forge. We must prevent the All-Devouring's return. If Dimensius should emerge fully formed, I know of nothing on this world capable of stopping him.
Some of the details are not shared by the Locus-Walker here. Instead, he told part of that story already earlier in the timeline to Alleria. A story we only recently got, going into the details of the Devouring War. Xal'atath was actually the one who gave the Locus-Walker his name, charged with finding a solution to the Dimensius threats. What the story also tells us is that the Locus-Walker was the one researching the void for years, combating its whispers, hearing Xal'atath in his mind. It's not outright stated, but possible that he was actually the one that summoned Dimensius to begin with. Still, he did not mean for their world to be devoured, and so he searched for ways to save them. With the backing of Xal'atath, who once again the Locus-Walker pointed his finger at as the harbinger of Dimensius. He proposed to use the Rishi ribbons, powerful artifacts of old, with the ability of absorbing magic and turning it into the arcane. Use those ribbons as a power source for great shields to protect them, which did work, at first at least, but also flayed their people alive. A process called wasting, with their skin turning dark, flaking. Over months they endured the pain, the practice of bandaging themselves becoming a necessity. The Rishi ribbons also fed upon Dimensius' awesome void magics, which fueled their arcane output even further, until they showed another miraculous ability. The Kareshi were being transformed into energy themselves, something which the Locus-Walker thought they could use to escape their fate, turn themselves into beings of pure energy, leave their doomed planet behind, an empty world for Dimensius to feast upon. What he didn't know at the time was that Xal'atath had already switched sides, pledged himself to Dimensius with the Soul Scribe at his side, blaming the Locus-Walker and his allies for their fate as the shields were turned off, opening their planets for Dimensius once more. That's where his tale ended, with the details on how the war concluded not revealed in that moment, but we can see the aftermath with our own eyes. Karesh is destroyed. The Kareshi are beings of energy in the form of ethereals and the brokers. And now, one of the darkest chapters in their history is trying to make a comeback.
Dimensius the All-Devouring. His return grows ever closer.
Invaders!
They raid our energy to feed their master. Champion, Windrunner, we have a city to save.
Time to get to work. Rescue civilians and strengthen our defenses, while kicking out these void-aligned invaders. All the while, Alleria can only think of one who could be responsible for this.
This must be Xal'atath. She provokes panic to hide her steps, just as she did in Dalaran. I believe the Shadow Guard worked for Xal'atath, despite the Goblin's rumors. Maybe Locus-Walker is right. Xal'atath isn't behind this. She's somewhere, scheming.
Windrunner has not forgotten or forgiven what the Harbinger has done. But right now, all we can do is focus on the immediate threats, taking on the leader of the attacking Shadow Guards, Shadow Lord Alzar.
We will feed this city to the All-Devouring.
Locus-Walker says that without their leader, this attack on Tazavesh is crippled. But we can't let this victory lull us into a false sense of security. There are darker forces at play, far more dangerous than the Shadow Guards. To resist them, we will need every advantage we can get, even those we would normally not consider.
The Shadow Guard would have won if not for your allies' warning. It's time we were introduced. But Alleria, we've already met.
No! We need her!
I see you haven't changed at all. You have joined forces with her. Have you lost your mind?
We are desperate. If Dimensius is revived, then all worlds will be devoured.
You broke my dark heart, Alleria. Without it, I cannot prevent Dimensius's return. At least, not on my own. This is madness. We cannot trust her.
I'm not asking you to trust her. I'm asking you to trust me.
I could never ally with that monster.
Windrunner, Dimensius stirs. You must trust me. We have no better options.
I cannot believe you would partner with her. She's trying to kill me. We've all tried to kill each other. Focus on the Void Lord, who will devour us all if he emerges.
You have every reason to hate her. For now, we need to work together.
Dimensius was smashed into as many shards as Karesh. But you've allowed the Shadow Guard to piece him back together. I should just end her! Why are you protecting her, Locus-Walker?
It pains me to admit, but if we are to get you and the champion anywhere near Dimensius, then we need her expertise.
That means if you kill me, then you destroy Azeroth. That would be my next stop if I were a Void Lord.
I am not asking you to trust her. I'm asking you to trust me. Set aside your hunt, Windrunner. You will see why this is necessary.
History repeats itself. Where once Jaina Proudmoore was asked to trust Uther to work together with Sylvanas, and she did, now we have the Locus-Walker asking Alleria to trust him and work together with Xal'atath. But almost as if the writers have done it on purpose, Alleria shows us how it's done. She says no and she holds on to it. She does not suddenly trust Xal'atath at all, and now also begins to doubt her trust in the Locus-Walker, her mentor and teacher. If the Harbinger is his ally now, what about all the warnings of the past? What is their history together? If she was his Harbinger, brought in Dimensius, then why does he work with her? Does he truly command the Void, or is he a puppet, like so many before, dancing to the tunes whispered by Xal'atath? Too many questions to blindly go along with this. Yet, at the same time, if we choose not to work together on this one, it means game over. Dimensius will return and devour what is left of Karesh, to then go on and snack on Azeroth herself. Whatever Xal'atath's connection is to Dimensius, she holds hatred for him. Claims that she can't take on the Void Lord herself, since we stopped her plans and damaged the Dark Hearts. The idea of total oblivion to the Void Lords, it almost takes Alleria, if it means not having to work with Xal'atath. Almost. But looking back at her life, the choices and sacrifices made, all for the sake of the world, for the sake of her child Arator, millions would fall if we do not do this. And so, reluctantly, we work together on this one. We will try to stop the Devourer from coming back. At least that will give us another day to regret our choices later.
Karesh was always harsh and unforgiving. Using our Rishi ribbons, the oracles turned the merciless wastes into a garden.
Rishi ribbons?
Relics from old Karesh that were used by the rabble, as dangerous as they are powerful.
So powerful that I betrayed the All-Devouring. I thought the ribbons would deliver me from his service. You were here before! Is this all you're doing? I was merely the Harbinger to Dimensius. I did not destroy this world.
What and who Xal'atath is still to be revealed. This could be a case of a Silver Surfer, as in offering her services to Dimensius in exchange for saving the world that she lived on. Or she might have been an Alleria, accepting the powers of the Void in order to save the loved ones. Or maybe she just really loves power and manipulates whatever she needs to do in order to get more. There are a million different things that could apply, and only time is going to tell. Safe to say that Xal'atath is really good at turning situations into her favor.
If it isn't my favorite mortal.
Time to find a way into Mana Forge Omega, where we must stop the return of the All-Devouring. But it's not gonna be as easy as just walking in. He is the entropy of the end, and we are just flesh. But Xal'atath knows a ritual or two from across the great dark beyond. With the power of their Rishi ribbons, she was able to transform the Kareshi so they could withstand Dimensius. Once more, a little nugget of detail added to their history. It wasn't just the Locus-Walker able to transform them, Xal'atath had an active role. And now we too must put our lives in our hands.
We cannot delay. Champion, grab hold of my Rishi ribbon. Xal'atath will transmute you into energy as she did the Kareshi.
This is madness! Don't let that monster touch you! May your aim never... You were the one that transformed the ethereals and brokers! I was told it was the energies of the Void!
The Void doesn't transform. It consumes. My skill, and the power of the Rishi ribbons, were required to change the Kareshi.
The Ravel worked in secret, ensuring our people could survive Dimensius's energies in the inevitable destruction of Karesh.
You didn't tell your people the truth. To this day they think it was Dimensius who changed them.
The Void feeds on conflict and panic. Had these Ravel villains told the people how they intended to save them, it only would have empowered Dimensius.
That's not how I would have put it, but she is right that there was neither time nor trust. We had a difficult choice to make.
She wants to use the Rishi ribbons, artifacts of old, powerful enough to make Xal'atath turn against Dimensius, and only got more powerful over the thousands of years that they've been away. Transform us like she did the Kareshi. An idea that's ridiculous to Alleria. We don't know what else she could do with that power. We don't know if the transformation only worked on the Kareshi, if we're gonna come back, if we'll get hurt. All we have is Xal'atath's word to go on, which means nothing to Windrunner. And then there's the Locus-Walkers, whose words become more hollow with each new revelation. We are the only ones left that she can still trust. Which is not great, considering that she needs anchors to hold off the madness of the Void. But we understand the risk, and we're willing to take it.
Do it, champion. I will make sure she restores you.
With only one ribbon, the transformation is singular and temporary. Your assurance is unnecessary. We're in this together. You are now like the ethereals and brokers were. An untethered soul composed of energy. This conduit connects to the garrison. We should check for entry closer to the Mana Forge. These pipes aren't just carrying energy, but untethered souls too. The Shadow Guard is manufacturing an army. All pathways to the Mana Forge pass through the aura of Dimensius. Only a being composed of energy would survive. We will need more than Locus-Walker's ribbon. With only one ribbon, the transformation fades and you are beset by the power of Dimensius. Do not fret, my champion. I'll save you.
These Rishi reps are going to be our key to ultimately get to Dimensius and unlock the secrets of the untethered space. But we're going to need more reps. Onwards to Ecodome Primus and the founder of Trust, member of the Revel, overseeing the Kareshi restoration operation. We need to meet up with none other than Venari.
I asked for your help, Locus-Walker. Instead, you've brought the Harbinger to my dome. I thought you were just going to consult the Harbinger, not bring her along.
I insisted. Last time, the Ravel was unable to complete the straightforward task it was given. I need to look after my interests. I need to know that we will bring an end to Dimensius.
Is that so? Then if you insist on being part of this venture, I'm going to put you to work. Don't just float around making sassy remarks. Make yourself useful and kill some shadow guards.
Do you really trust her?
I trust her to do whatever she needs to survive. We share a purpose: to kill the All-Devouring. That may change once Dimensius is dead. Don't just stand there scowling at each other. Get to work. My dome is in crisis. The only thing holding everything together is my Rishi ribbon. I spent my fortune to acquire these ecodomes. I won't let them collapse. Traveler, stabilize the dome. The rest of you, secure this area. The Shadow Guard are everywhere.
Venari has sworn an oath to restore Karesh, and oaths to the Kareshi are incredibly important. You don't go around breaking those. And since she needs her ribbon in order to operate the dome and keep things protected, we get to help out. A small taste right here of stabilizing the dome and taking out the attackers, but a chunk of the gameplay later on, that's gonna be all about helping them further. Collect some samples and help expand their ecodome projects.
Dangling your ribbon in front of us so we do your dirty work. You haven't changed, Venari.
I give the Traveler the ribbon when it's not the only thing keeping the biomes in this dome alive.
After stabilizing the place right now, we are asked by Xal'atath to take some crystals, which have been attuned with the ecodome's defense magics. Just place them near strategic parts of the perimeter to strengthen the magical defenses. Very much reminiscent when she asked us to help protect Dalaran further and then stab us in the back. But no tricks this time. If this dome explodes, she'll never get to destroy Dimensius.
Some time alone to get things done. I adore watching you work. Alleria has been quiet. I think she's still angry at me about Dalaran. There aren't many who Alleria trusts, aside from Locus-Walker. A foolish exception to a wise rule. First, let's destroy the All-Devouring. Then, we see what becomes of our partnership.
I can sense Xal'atath buzzing about you. Don't listen to her lies.
I'm not the one lying to you about what happened to Karesh. The world breaking apart shattered Dimensius. He wouldn't do that to himself. Who controlled the Rishi ribbons? Who wanted the Void Lord destroyed?
What are you saying? I've had enough of your whispers.
Our defenses have been strengthened, and the Shadow Guard's cannons are disabled. Their attacks on the Ecodome won't stand a chance, especially with their Shadow Captain Lakish taken out, so Venari can hand over her ribbon. But this plan of ours, Alleria loses more and more faith. The secret Locus-Walker's alliance with Xal'atath, she fears he made a mistake thousands of years ago, a mistake we cannot escape.
The All-Devouring didn't destroy the world. The Ravel destroyed Karesh to kill Dimensius.
No, they couldn't have. You are lying.
Ask them.
Xal'atath claims the Ravel destroyed Karesh. Is she lying, or are you?
Windrunner. The Ravel knew our world would be devoured. The Harbinger promised a means to spare us. There was no saving our world. Why not use it as a weapon?
You doomed your people. At her behest?
There would be far less regret had it been successful.
It was our only way to survive. You have to trust me.
I have no more trust to give you. Any of you.
Why did you tell her? This was a secret we said we would keep.
Alleria would have pieced it together eventually. She's dramatic, not stupid. Better to control when she has her little outburst.
I should have been the one to tell her. It was my burden to share.
Returning home has made you sentimental, sorcerer. When did you ever care about your legacy and friends? You walked a dark, lonely path to save us from the void. Your elf student will see the bigger picture in time. Stop wallowing. Go and defeat the Void Lord before he devours us all.
Oh, at least one of you lot has figured out their priorities.
Enough! Make sure he succeeds. I have been to them all. I know what the Void fears.
I'm sure you do.
Then go. I have my investment to protect.
The tale Locus-Walker told Alleria had them plan to abandon Karesh as beings of energy, so that Dimensius had an empty planet to devour. First, she learns that Xal'atath was involved with the transformation. Now she learns that they destroyed their home to destroy Dimensius. Perhaps not just the action itself that makes her so upset, but to again find out that the Locus-Walker had been holding out. Diving into the secrets of the void, it's no easy feat. It requires a great deal of trust in her mentor. Trust that has now crumbled into nothing, leaving her with one less anchor to hold on to. A bit more vulnerable to Xal'atath and the void. But I'm sure that's gonna be fine. She still has us. Then that small line about being to the maw and knowing what the void fears, that could relate to the Windrunner comic, in which the whispers of the void got super intense. Anxious, fearful perhaps, when looking at Alleria's sister Sylvanas and what she'd become. Sylvanas is currently in the maw, fulfilling her community service of releasing souls and sending them back to the Arbiter. Could she have a part to play against the void in the future?
Our family has endured so much darkness. We must find a way to cling to hope.
And their plan of destroying Karesh to wipe out Dimensius, it didn't even fully work, as it turned the Void Lord into fractures, capable of returning. But it does line up more and better with having dealt with him before during the Burning Crusade. I have had the question on how all of that works with the history of the Void Lords trying to manifest in the physical universe. They were unable to, and they had to resort to shooting out the old gods, but that could partially be because the term Void Lord did not mean the same back in the day as it does now. And perhaps that could have to do with something they could still dive more into. They could explain more when dealing with the Locus-Walker and Xal'atath's dealings with the Devourer. They could explain a lot more about the Void and the Void Lords and how that all plays a part. Let's move on for now, as Dimensius' power is growing and time is running short. The instability between Karesh and the Void is also increasing, causing a massive meteor to crash down and destroy one of the ecodomes. Umbera was supposed to work here. And even worse, she had one of those reps that we needed. A quick look around reveals that she did manage to survive the meteor crash, only to then fall to the Wastelanders.
Dead. Her Rishi ribbon is nowhere to be found. Has the Shadow Guard divined our plan? A Tabika ritual dagger, once wielded by the oracles of Karesh.
They are Wastelanders now. Assassins, sworn to slay the Ravel. They must have killed Umbera and taken her ribbon.
The Oracles, or Wastelanders, have declared that the Revel, people like Venari and Locus-Walker that made those hard choices and allied with Xal'atath, they have been declared as their enemy. The Wastelanders are also oathbound to the Nexus King Xal'atath, who during the Devouring War betrayed the Revel. Locus-Walker's story had Xal'atath turn against him, place all the blame of the Devouring War upon his shoulders. The Revel then used the Rishi ribbons too early, and Dimensius was only dispersed instead of destroyed. Perhaps this is my fault, Xal'atath wonders. I should have placed all the factions on Karesh under my heel from the start. Or perhaps there was nothing that could have been done. Life is chaos. Even if one controls vast cosmic power, there are still events out of your control.
Chaos is a ladder.
Lines that I really love, compared to the predestined stories we've been given before.
These Wastelanders are still holding a grudge against you. Leave us. Keep your Rishi ribbons safe. My champion and I will turn these murderous fanatics to our cause. I think this latest complication is your fault, Locus-Walker. These Wastelanders are your old enemies, the Oracles of Karesh. I remember how much trouble they caused you in the Devouring War. Are they why you failed to kill Dimensius? The Holy Class are always the most savage fighters during an apocalypse. We could use that. If we could get them to parley, I could convince them to fight for us. We are trying to save the world. This time.
You can't mean to try to ally with those murderers.
Much as I would like to see them pay, Xal'atath is right. They are fierce warriors, and would be useful in the battle to come.
Come, champion. Let me show you how to manifest an army.
Can't wait to see Xal'atath in action, if and when we deal with the Arathi Empire, and the holiest of warriors serving their emperor. For now, we do what she does best. Create a crisis and offer a solution, to worm our ways into talks with the leader. We use gathered void energy to lure out Azj-Kahet, the Essence Gorger. A problem for the Wastelanders, which we quickly deal with. Now I'm sure that these tactics of manipulation, they're only used on other people, right? Surely this whole mess we're dealing with right now, it doesn't play right into the hands of the Harbinger, right?
You fought well. I won't kill you for your trespass. Yes.
This stranger is an ally of the Ravel. Why does their soul remain tethered?
They fought the void.
We should hear their words before execution. We know you serve the Ravel, intruder. And we swore to King Xal'atath that we would slay all of their minions.
Then it's fortunate he's dead.
That voice! The Harbinger!
There's no need for that. Not when we seek to end Dimensius for good. Though, we will require the Rishi ribbons you took from the Ravel corpses.
No! They used those accursed ribbons to destroy our world! We were powerless to stop them, but we will fulfill our oath to kill them!
And your failure will yet remain. This broken world is not yet finished, but it will be if the All-Devouring returns. Help me annihilate Dimensius. The Ravel can always come next.
We will hear you out. For now.
I know what you yearn for, Oracle. You are no longer oath-bound to a dead king. Join our fight against Dimensius and hear the radiant song once more. A gift for you. You misplaced this dagger in a broker. We return it freely.
My warriors are eager to untether the Shadow Guard. But I think you want the ribbon I took from that Ravel broker.
Your warriors are a boon to our cause, and the Rishi ribbon is vital to it.
Why reveal your secrets, Harbinger? If you are here for the ribbon, you could just take it.
Revenge. I want to help you get yours.
The Tamika ritual is for communing with the world's soul. Koresh is dead.
The Ravel's heresy halted the Devouring. Dimensius did not finish his meal. The brokers want you to think it is their technomancy that makes the ecodomes bloom. You and I know the truth. There can be no life without Koresh.
I have tried for ages. There has been nothing but silence.
You could commune with Koresh again. Show your people you are still strong. Then I will put that accursed ribbon to righteous use.
We could be oracles again. If Koresh is silent, I will find my own revenge.
Mother, allow them to prove themselves. If they succeed, we may have our revenge. If not, we kill them.
Very well. Let's see what you are worth.
Daughters are just so useful to our Harbinger. As we saw before in Azj-Kahet, she plants a seed of hope. Perhaps they could communicate with the world soul once more. Similar to our Haranir back on Azeroth, the Soul Scribe and the people have a strong connection to the worlds, which was taken from them.
Who is Soul Scribe talking to? That woman's voice has haunted me since the Devouring.
The Harbinger is back. The All-Devouring rises again. Soul Scribe reflects upon our oaths for guidance.
More of these domes appear. We should raise each of them to the ground. Make the Ravel pay for returning to the world they destroyed.
We are no longer oath-bound to King Xal'atath. This stranger brings hope for Koresh. Our vendetta can wait.
We finish up gathering reagents for the ritual, food for their people, and even secure access into the dome, where they have the best shot at communing with the worlds.
These are the oracles of the Untamed. You will let them commune with Koresh in your dome, or they will sack it as wastelanders.
We offer petals and pollen. Through the exchange, we are reborn. We offer water from the wellsprings deep within Koresh. We offer a ritual dagger, whose meaning we would reclaim. Koresh is. I sense nothing! You lied! There is no world soul here!
Eons of wandering have starved your once great power, Oracle.
Traitor! Oathbreaker!
The world soul is as weak as you are. You need more power to commune. Feast! Touch the fading heart of your world!
I heard Koresh. By my unbroken oath, the oracles of the wastes will be your army, Harbinger. We fight to restore Koresh!
Going to assume that the Oracle would know the difference between hearing actual Koresh and being influenced by Xal'atath. Either way, her faith is renewed, a brand new force to join our side, and another ribbon added to our collection. Unlike the PTR, where the campaign was given to us in one single go, For the live experience, Blizzard has decided to put a time gate on the next part of the story. Seeing how by the time that the next part is available, we'll also have the raid opened up and the ending available and all that other stuff to focus on. With that in mind, I decided to keep the information from the PTR in this video and give you a big spoiler warning before we dive into it. That way you can decide if you want to hear about it now or if you want to play through it yourself. Before we get to the last bits of the main campaign though, let's take a moment and talk a bit more about what is actually revealed on Karesh. What more have we learned about the planet, about its people? Well, life on Karesh before the doom fell upon it. It was harsh but rewarding. The flora and fauna that they've managed to recreate within the biodomes looks quite alien but not entirely unfamiliar. What I did find really curious to see is that the world boss, Reshenor, is a void dragon. The ethereals believe that Reshenor manifested as their eternal punishment, a destructive maw of the void, first witnessed after Dimensius' attack. It could very well be that within the domain of the void there are now void dragons hanging out, and they are things that popped up out of the portals. But what if dragons were native to Karesh, and the part about them seeing this with the Dimensius attack would be that it's a void dragon now? And if dragons were native to Karesh, if that would be the case, then there might have been a similar evolutionary path as we've seen on Azeroth, as in, for those unaware, on Azeroth the elements evolved into proto-dragons, and then under the influence of the titans, of the keepers, of the powers from the domain of order, they were transformed into the majestic dragons. Could the titans have visited Karesh at some point? They were scouting the great dark beyond in search of more world souls. Did they happen to stumble upon the world soul of Karesh? And if so, could they have something to do with the dragon's evolution, and maybe even leaving behind their Rishi ribbons? Quite a few titanic artifacts and relics were left behind by them as they brought order to Azeroth. Could they have done a similar thing here on Karesh? Very much speculation, of course, but it's interesting to think about the history that came before the Great Devouring. How many times did we not take the gifts of the creators in order to save Azeroth from whatever threat was out there? And those parallels are way more obvious when we deal with outcast Hisfran, who has broken his oaths twice. They were first oathbound to Karesh, and then pledged themselves to the King Salhadar after the Devouring. Not the only ones, mind you, that had a change of heart, or changed sides, or dared to ally with those bringing in destruction. There's a whole sect of them, even to this day, waiting for Xal'atath's return, as she promised to bring about another Devouring and finish what was started. That does mean Xal'atath did not only whisper to the Locus-Walker. How many more minds and hearts has the Harbinger managed to turn to her side? Did she turn them against each other? We've also seen with the Soul Scribe that they are familiar with her voice, like they still haunt her nightmares. But for Hisfran, following Salhadar did not sit right. Karesh was still there after all. A husk was better than nothing, and his heart just wasn't in it. Double Oathbreakers are cast out with the penalty of death if he ever returns, but similar to what we've seen with the Soul Scribe, the soul of Karesh is still out there. And with our help, Hisfran can pledge himself to his oaths of old, the oaths of Karesh. In the old days, they would have used certain deep mine salts in cleansing process and in the rituals, but mining is no longer an option. There is another mineral though. On the day of the Devouring of Karesh, a never-before-seen blue mineral surfaced, the blood of Karesh. We had the blood of Azeroth pop up when Azeroth was stabbed by Sargeras, and this powerful resource would then play a critical role in the warfare between the Alliance and the Horde, but also with saving the day. Yet we combined it with a gift from the world itself. We got the Heart of Azeroth. Now we already knew that Karesh started to call out, similar like Azeroth. A radiant song was heard, but what else did the world's soul try to do in order to save itself? Was it too looking for heroes to become its champion? Unknown. But we are able to put Hisfran back on his path, find himself again, just as he had seen in a vision about us thousands and thousands of years ago, before the Devouring. Who knows how long ago, really? The perk and flaw of being immortal is that time is meaningless. Beings of pure energy do not fear the passing of time. Yet, there is a realm underneath this material plane that is feared by most ethereals and brokers. One they may all be destined to make their ultimate journey to. They call this realm untethered space. And with the use of phase conduits, we can hop in and out of this realm to gather power, energy, riches, do our world quests. But not everyone is so lucky. In their temple, we find ghosts of the past reminiscing on better days. We find echoes of creatures now infected by the void. A state of being that we'll use to our advantage. With that, we're going to resume our coverage of the main campaign. But as I said, this will contain spoilers and information given to us from the PTR. If you don't want to be spoiled and just play through it yourself, then this will be the time to turn off the video, and thank you very much for watching. 1 week later, and Alleria brings over the Void Elves to help our cause. Getting to Karesh wasn't easy or without its risks, but they managed to get it done.
The Ravel Sorcerer is here. Fortunately for him, my oaths do not demand his death specifically.
The Rendorai are gathered. They have fought the Shadow God before.
Perhaps your band of outcasts will finish the job this time.
What of your vendetta, Soul Scribe? Should I prepare for your blade in my back?
The Ravel will pay for their crimes in time.
Not an ounce of trust between us. What hope do we have of victory?
Such pessimism. Do you really think I would have thrown in my lot for a hopeless cause? Together, we will destroy the All-Devouring. The only other choice is our own destruction. Trust? Trust is overrated, but we all want to survive. And isn't that enough?
You're right. I have no trust for any of you. But for Azeroth to survive, you can trust the Rendorai will defeat the All-Devouring.
The last ribbon we need is in the hands of the Shadow Guards. But that shouldn't be a problem now that we have some reinforcements. We do need to heal our forces and give them something to fight with. Nothing we can't handle. Does turn out though that not all of the Shadow Guard is made up of ethereals that willingly fight for the side that once devoured their worlds. A lot of them are being wrapped, filled up with void, and forced to oath-bind themselves to the cause. And again, these oaths are no joke. That is why Vanari was so dead set on restoring Karesh, and why the Soul Scribe has held on to the oaths made to their king, even though he is dead, slain by us in the Netherstorm. Safe to say that these wrapping operations have to stop. All the while, Dimensius is growing so powerful that his overwhelming voice and aura is oozing over the planet.
Xal'atath is focused on destruction at all costs. However, I will not abandon my people to the Shadow Guard's mercies.
So you can still defy her after all.
This is raw power, enough to overwhelm and remake untethered souls. It must be stopped. As Dimensius grows in power, all fates bend toward destruction.
That awful voice. A nightmare I had forgotten.
The All-Devouring stirs. We must hurry!
Xal'atath surely means to betray us. Let us destroy the final garrison before she gets the chance.
At last, our oaths will be shed in glory today!
By my hand, Dimensius returns! The dark heart I stole from the Harbinger will revive the All-Devouring!
Some way, somehow, Xal'atath returns, invoking those ancient oaths pledged to him. They're not just mere promises. Part of the raid mechanic when we're fighting Xal'atath, it has us get rid of our oaths. Otherwise, we're gonna be mind-controlled and turned to his side. So it's not just a simple promise, right? Then the Dark Hearts, that will have a part to play during the raid as well. For now, we've got Wastelanders to deal with.
I don't care about your oaths. You don't have to betray us.
We have no choice. We will not die as oath breakers.
Take Azir's Rishi ribbon, champion. We have paid a steep price for it. There are so few left to fight Dimensius.
Alleria is no longer holding back. A snap of the fingers, and they're gone. She is growing tired of this lesson. Always when we get close to someone, they betray us. They falter. They turn. They die. Always we put them in danger, and we fail to protect them. Let no one else stand in our path. You and me, we will finish this. Which is not good in the grand scheme of things, considering she needs her anchors to keep her grounded. But who can blame her? The oracles turned, Locus-Walker lied, Xal'atath constantly taunting and whispering. Those voices in her head must be having a party.
Where were you, Xal'atath? What betrayal have you planned?
The Wastelanders betrayed you. Our interests are still aligned, and victory is within our grasp. I will do as I promised. Come, my champion. We have a Void Lord to kill. We haven't much time. We must begin the ritual.
I must talk to you before we cross the threshold, Windrunner. When you behold the Void Lord, you will understand. You will know why my actions were necessary.
No, Locus-Walker. I won't. You became a monster to defeat Dimensius. You sacrificed your world, your loved ones. I would never do that.
There was no other way.
That's what you keep telling me. We lied and manipulated our way to this victory because that is how she does things. You think you've escaped the Void, that you are its master. But every dark whisper in my head confirms that you are lost. You are the Void's creature. No better than Xal'atath.
Windrunner.
I will follow the champion into that mana forge. For Azeroth. For Karesh. For all the worlds unknown who we are done. You are no longer my teacher. No longer my compatriot.
Alleria.
Lead on, champion. Dimensius awaits.
It is time! Present your Rishi ribbons. I will fulfill my word.
I can't. It's madness to trust her with this power.
Dimensius is almost upon us. How many more worlds must be destroyed?
Time grows short. Combine your ribbon or use it to destroy me. As it once destroyed Karesh. Choose, Alleria.
Alleria. Please.
We have what we need to gain entry into Mana Forge Omega and hopefully stop Dimensius from returning. I won't mention it here, but anyone that's been keeping an eye on the promo material done by Blizzard, you already know a fair bit on what happens next. I'll keep that part of the story for when we cover the raid. We also got some side quests to talk about, the delves to go into, the dungeon that takes place after the raid, but that will be for next time. For now, we are left with a smirking Xal'atath, pulling Alleria ever further away from our allies and into the darkness. There's a lot we don't know yet about Locus-Walker, about the Harbinger, the fate of Karesh, but again, next time. for now, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Say that you want to read up on all the things we talked about today, then check out the Wired article in the description down below. Subscribe and turn on notifications if you like my videos and want to be kept up to date on future uploads. And with that, on to next time. See ya!